Why does the first match have so impact? So much impact? It just kind of sets the momentum for the game, really. Like, obviously, it doesn't, like, you know, guarantee the whole game. It just winning COD is like a huge motivational boost.
2-1. The rest of the maps, they were shutouts for Nightmare. They want to repeat the same thing, but Liquid, they looked off that day. I hazard a guess and say this might be a little bit closer than that.
Right now,
oh my god! Oh, I thought someone went off the map. Tree with a pick on a Chronic. Okay.
Classic Arista gameplay. It was very close. I saw a
no Sim. No, I don't think either of these teams play Sim. I think that's like a GK specialty thing.
That's a bit of a problem.
Window?
I think everyone except GK and SSG probably just mirror comps.
Not the best angle of all time. No one from Liquid is really popping their heads out. It's a bit better one from RuPaul, but needs this shift to come online. Luckily, just in time as well. Yeah,
it looks like Liquid are just tunnels.
And that window, the later one from Liquid prevailing.
I think Liquid were already pretty ahead.
It's a shame they really slammed out Knife, but
window popped so early by Lucamino. I think it was just a Hail Mary. Nightmare may be able to take use of that, especially because Painkiller was able to stay alive in the process. But Team Liquid had that first kill. They were up a player advantage. Oh my god, Lucamino, he's good because there was an edge behind him. But you know what? If that was a different part of the map, he would have been sent off. So yeah, you just gotta like keep yourself. It's how you feel alive in this game. You get
the Arista Spears.
Honestly,
the most scary spot against the Arista Spear will just launch you over the edge from that distance. I knew cancelled that.
Wow, I'd love to see a tree flank here.
Kept Nightmare at bay for the time being, maybe even granting Zera some space. He's getting challenged in hookah right now by the other Tracer. A Terror Surge uses from Infected as Liquid try and just keep Nightmare at bay in that choke point. Pulse Bomb connected to Infected, but was purely gold there in the front line, so it took no damage. On the flip side of things, though, Chronic with a nice high noon.
You have 5 seconds to spell. Best Tracer in there? Okay, like no bias at all. I think it's not even. Maybe it's like a little bit closer now, but I swear it's just Lenny. It's just Lenny, bro.
At least in your Baptiste, you're able to range your heals. But Nightmare, I mean, they actually had to use a lot in order to take back control. They had to because you were in that territory where one more fight Team Liquid were going to win. But now they only have this window, and Tree has been such a sharpshooter. Now you're able to get in there with the rally. You've got the Ant Matrix too if you want to put RuPaul.
Like Zera's really good and all, but I just really I really feel like Lenny's levels ahead.
Rather devastating window for both Baps, but can hide that Lamp around the corner. Lamp deployed a little bit later there by RuPaul, and Nightmare know it too. They're going to go towards the point as Zera might just kill himself with his pulse bomb there. Whoopsie daisy.
Wait.
Bit of a self-own. Nice rally from behind.
Did Zera just slime himself out? No, he really said the only way you can kill me is if I kill myself.
That kind of comes up clutch. God, watching Brig POV sometimes is it's something else. Spam and shield. But a good flip from Team Liquid, and now they're in final fight. Nightmare going to be able to come back quick though. Let on the Lucio, just speed people out spawn.
Zera was just having a gentleman's agreement. No,
I'd say best Tracer is definitely Lenny. I think the best Genji, you can debate the best Genji between Zera and Lenny.
With the Terror Surge, they've got another High Noon. And still pretty.
Whoa, that's a wall, bud.
Think that was a touch? Oh, it doesn't matter anyway.
Nope.
Heads up play by Zera there, knowing that Rocket unlikely to come through the main choke of the map and actually take the side entrance. So was waiting there the entire time. Really smart Tracer play. And a High Noon from Tree. The double kill.
I think we all know who the best venture is, though.
It probably wouldn't have mattered anyway as we go on to round 2.
Oh, it's Jamal.
At that point, it's just Tracers understanding.
Oh, is it look at the pulse? Oh,
yeah.
It's Jamal.
Painkiller. And recoil straight back into it. That's that's just unlucky.
That's very unlucky.
All good. All good. Zera's one of his 2 deaths there was himself. So. Alright, teleports out. Mirror comps again, Rose.
This is going to be another fight over the high ground. Ideally, you're trying to set up this Cassidy and this Baptiste to be able to take the best angles possible. You know, you want the high ground, even for the Arissa. Wow, what a collapse though. That's crazy.
Jeez, it looks like a Vitamix in there. That is
What a dive, man.
Players in a small space just getting blended up together. RuPaul's dead to the spear spin. Infected, just kind of hanging by himself with his little shield. Should be a pretty decent or an easy kill on this Cassidy. He's up on this high ground.
Oh my choke!
Ooh, doesn't quite get the last shot off, but Team Liquid are gonna get this point for free. Nightmare have managed to regroup, and Rocket keeping that point alive.
I got a gold already?
Part of that was like the Juno hyper, like
Don't
sphere,
you know?
sphere out of the spawn hyper ring. And back in good fashion. I mean, Chronic being able to pick off Zera there removes quite a bit of DPS from the board, but it's a big trade.
The Orisa duel around the shield is truly something to behold in Overwatch. Good position though for RuPaul.
Dude, tell me the Roblox case opening is not fun though. It's actually bad fun. Tree's like a hyperflex, but he may play tight scan.
Low ground for RuPaul using that window. Now Painkiller is going to be in trouble. Pretty easy point to play around though. This classically City Center takes a while to actually cap, but this is approaching world record level of stall right now. Honestly.
Are we on Coliseum?
This is a long ass stall, man. Jesus Christ.
All right,
Wait,
Zera's had enough. Zera is bored. He is gone.
Zera just killed everyone. All right then.
Maybe 4 as well.
4.
Creed's gonna steal it.
Nope.
There we go. Okay, we're on. We're not okay. Don't worry. It's not Coliseum. It's Oasis City Center, and there's the gap.
At the walls, if you close your eyes,
Yeah.
look hard enough.
Be like
It
Coliseum.
does look like Coliseum. It sure does.
Nothing.
Oh, well, let's get back at it. We've got a couple of ultimates coming on the board for Nightmare. I think. There was a pulse bomb actually. Rocket missed that.
Every survivability thrown in there by Painkiller to keep himself alive is trapped around that corner. Oh, the pulse bomb from Zera though.
My goodness.
I saw them sailing through the air there, past that lamp. Tree takes care of the lamp, and Zera's pulse bomb gets a double. Beautiful work.
A gentleman's agreement. See, you know, you miss the one, you kill yourself on it, and then yes, exactly.
Well, you know what happened with Chopper and Riker? I thought, so before stage 1, I think Chopper, Riker, and Rocket had a team, but I think the team blew up right before like the whenever the lock-in started. So Rocket joined Nightmare, and then I think Riker and Chopper just sat out.
Completely. They've taken down Infected, so now they can try and make their way towards the point, but it's still going to be fairly tough as Lucamino is down, so healing resources cut in half for Nightmare. Point cap comes.
Is Riker Saudi? Maybe Riker's in Saudi then. I don't know.
Not for very long, though, it feels like, because like,
I don't really know where they are, but
being able to still stall out this point. They're gonna get the regroup pretty quickly as well, and if Zera gets away with a kill, that would be crazy. Unfortunately, not able to do that. Luck got very low, but unable to finish that elimination, and so Team Liquid, yeah, they just got to take a reset here. But again, you've got the high noon to push past this choke, and I think you can also force out quite a few ultimates here from Nightmare in the process. Oh, but you actually have to get out a lot. That's 4, ready to go for Nightmare.
Just a slow rotation. Over to this high ground first up. Alright, high noon. Does put Infected in a
Donger probably needs 10 months. Thanks, bro.
Play around this dome. Now Tree's in the best spot of his life up on this dome on the high ground. High noon protected by the shield. Shield quickly dealt with, and Chronic doesn't even.
Oh my god, how did Rocket die?
Roll out the way because there's too much.
Rocket's been having a bad map.
On his screen.
No, but there's at least one pick. The Immortality Field
is he getting the playoff nerfs?
Unfortunately, not long enough to save Leb. Oh my god, Painkiller.
A 2v1 for Painkiller. Spots both the Brig and the Cassidy on the flank and just decides, well, I'm just going to go for him because I've got Terror Surge. I can just bully the Brig, and as soon as the shield dies, there's nothing they can do.
Okay, well, now things are looking much better for Nightmare. Tree actually uses the Widowmaker to push Nightmare back, make sure that, you know, Nightmare isn't going to fall into those sight lines. But right now, the kind of shoes on the other foot.
I think they're going to open up the point with window and then push them whenever they're kiting with a Rizzo.
Try to get some squishies, but running out of time, and Rocket still has this pulse bomb. gotta force out this immortality field first, but then
Drop the window and then push for the result.
Condition here.
Indeed.
Nice pick. Maybe save the window after. No, I'm telling you, Rocket's been having a bad map.
For Nightmare. It's just playing ring around the Rosie at this point. It's just trying to chase Painkiller around this point. Painkiller hasn't got ult though. And this window's devastating. Double fan the hammer through the window. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. Not sure how much DPS, but a lot off the charts. All right, Team Liquid save their rally. They've got a pulse for next fight. Chronic tries to play with traffic, but Infected skewers him instead.
Either way, he was going down. The Nightmare, I mean, look at how much you were able to get out of Team Liquid. All right, I saw the Moira to the Fade, to the Juno, for the Hyper Ring. And now we're going back over to Lucio. Get you in really fast here because Nightmare are now...
Oh my god, Chronic. Chronic just got the best pick ever.
Zera, before you could actually get the pulse bomb up. That's big.
Okay, so Team Liquid have to make a big trade here. They just need to kill. Doesn't matter at the point right now. We've got 99.
Oh my god, Rocket just got the best pick ever! Holy shit!
Exo boots straight up into the sky, ends up going down. Tree now trying to hug this shield. Same with Vega. This high noon from Rocket is gonna push them back, and Nightmare still control this point. The trades for Liquid were decent, but they weren't good enough to make this a clean fight as Nightmare regroup with this Lucio. A window.
Painkiller needs a wrist ult. Team Liquid have nothing.
They have to be able to find these kills. These pickoffs on the sideline.
Oh my, RuPaul Lucio is too good.
With Death is left, ends up going down to the car. An unbelievable boot from RuPaul, and that just might have sealed the deal, Rose. 99% for Nightmare. They're going to throw the Terror Surge in, but they're hoping for a miracle, and that miracle ain't coming.
Ooh,
damn, that was close.
For that pick onto RuPaul, so at least you're able to get the Lucio out of the way, but it just makes the cleanup even.
RuPaul Lucio's too good.
No one else to touch, and you're right, Team Liquid able to take this 2-0. Way different of a start than what we saw when these two teams played each other just a couple of weeks ago.
That RuPaul boot there was just picturesque, honestly.
Immaculate.
Boot slept into the traffic. Didn't die instantly, but it was also on 1 HP, so even if the guy didn't kill him, really nice stuff there. Exactly, yeah, one little boot would have done it. Good start from Team Liquid. Now,
This wall or water bottle is actually really nice.
End up banning the
Sub to streamers, that's what's up.
It's getting close. I don't see anything.
DMPs.
Double hit scan. Rhea Sigma. Yeah, switch Rhea. I can take top left and cross into the corner. Yeah, I can ring the corner.
Ah, let me close breads.
Yeah, careful. Yeah, let's take out. Larry top right, I'm giving. Larry one.
Fucking man.
Yeah. Chicken Larry.
The map score from GK and SSG was GK 3-1.
Take that.
I can take that. I take that.
It's like weak already. They have two on. I'm gonna hard go statue, and you guys need to swing hard. Okay?
Give me a second.
Yeah.
I'll let you know. And I can ring.
I need to fucking hard swing.
Can we go? You guys ready?
Ready?
No, no, no.
Nading Surge.
Larry hit.
Larry nade.
Larry weak. I have the statue. They're gonna try and retake.
Breaking pylon.
Larry one. Literally one.
Nice.
Running towards
Come in.
I can push in 3, 2, 1.
I think Sig is really outdated, but Infected loves playing Sig.
Break shot.
I'm fast, you know.
On and under. They're on me cap, I think. They're on speed.
I'm blocking them, man. Take one.
Hit a shot. You don't need to hit a shot on Freyo.
Nice.
All right, clean look from Nightmare there. A good anti-nade from Lucamino. Took a little bit of time there to clean up Vega on the Alari, but ended up getting the kill. I'm sure where RuPaul was kind of looking there, or probably reloading if I'm gonna be honest.
Well, they did ban Ramatra, and Ramatra kind of runs over Sig, so maybe it's not that bad.
They've got a lot to throw into this fight. A Gravitic Flux though from Infected. Scores one of Lep, and with no defensive countermeasure, there's nothing you can do. Although Lucamino throwing the nano onto Rocket to try and trade places with Infected now, who's caught in the backline.
That's gonna be good enough, I think. Now.
Who's winning this? I think this is a Team Liquid win.
Okay, could you imagine though?
Especially second point. Second point is when it seriously gets really hard to take.
That would not have been the first time today that we have seen that, and then they would have just been taken out by the bomb. But this is still so much space. Nightmare have already kind of steamrolled through this map with very little resistance. Infected is now switching over to the Winston. At least you can play against the D.Va a little bit better, but like with Ray too, and Vega's dead.
How did Vega die?
Pulsar torpedoes very tough to fight into. Those
Okay,
a
Rocket.
double kill of the backline. Rocket with the nano, or not the nano blade, just the regular blade, ends up getting taken out by Infected, but a scrappy trade. But with Vega coming back on the brig, Painkiller is going to have to bid a farewell to that team fight and rejoin the rest of his squad near the spawn.
Yeah, Painkiller played a shit ton of Winston. I'd probably say his main hero.
Explosive fight. I think the Bola shot being able to pick up 2 was very impactful for Team Liquid to hold on to this defense. And now you're in this position where Liquid are the ones that have this blade, and there's not really a good way for Nightmare to actually respond to this. Lucamino is too far away from the sound barrier to make that worth the while, but maybe if you can help with like the pulsar torpedoes and just some of this big DPS from Tronic, maybe that gets
Is it Braun?
but blade first.
Yeah, straight onto that Lucio. Even one slash is enough for that Lucio to just get focused down, so good value there from Zera.
You like Juno?
Zera's gonna fight. Infected 2 is close.
It's
to
like in the
final
middle.
stage.
Like,
so right now, I mean, Team Liquid, like especially.
I don't mind Juno anymore.
Nightmare are actually making adjustments.
I do think the Kiro is a little stupid, but it's okay.
Gonna go back over to the Lucio.
Yeah, Knife is still on Team Liquid.
Gonna take the role of the Kiriko. I think you got
Like, you think she's healthy
when you had that
for the
start,
game?
but now,
Not that bad.
Nightmare, they just have
Okay.
to bide some time here, work up to some ults. So,
I think it'd be nicer if they added more like skill expression of heroes, but there's skill expression in Juno.
Well, the ports trail behind.
It's rather solid line of defense though for Nightmare's backline with the Orisa. It's going to be easy to kind of push around and gain space and pressure Infected, but he's got the Primal Rage. And no cooldowns for Chronix, unfortunately. He's got a dash back available, but Infected has decided to leave the poor Freya alone for the time being. And they've already found their kill. Like, they don't need to find much else. They just need to push back Nightmare over and over, and getting a support like that is good for now. Although, actually, wow, Infected is going down and must have gotten speared there.
Plant? I'm not planting, bud. Wait, Chronic got a pick on a tree? Wait, Zera gets the nano, though. Does he get one? Does Zera get one? No, he did. Who is on point right now?
And we've got Infected coming back on Reinhardt, of all things. Vega's gonna use the rally as this last ditch effort, and you did have the charge to at least get this Reinhardt back into the mix, but you get antied and get killed, I think.
I think the only reason why I went Ryan there is so he could charge out of spawn just to get back.
Yeah, I know, but Malgo is also available. I just
yeah, I mean either one of them you just dead, I think.
All right, well, good effort. Infected goes back to spawn, comes back on the Winston, which we would have expected. But Painkiller's Orisa has been kind of a problem. Now you've got this Terror Surge you have to deal with as well if you're Team Liquid, and you don't really have a good way to do that. Well, I mean, unless you kill the Orisa outright, but look at how well she gets healed, even though she goes down to, like, literally 1.
Well, let's do it again. Good stuff from Zera. Oh, high-value blades, like high-value slashes from the Genji.
I agree.
Nightmare now assailing this high ground. It's going to be the game plan, I'd imagine. Just swing top right and then put Chronic up in a good spot. And of course,
Hopefully we can see like redemption from Rocket. That first map was a little bad, but I think he's catching his stride.
I think we're looking at number 1 and number 2 here in this match.
So really, with the Freya, you want to make sure that they're actually getting kills, and that's something that I think is going to be...
You miss Swing Infected? Of course I do, man. I miss all my old teammates. Miss Dope Gaming, miss Amplify, miss Sog. I miss all my teammates, bro. Energy Shock.
Painkiller in the front line, so that's a good, actually, trigger to go off of. Like, okay, they've got no nade.
Not a single teammate I don't miss.
Kill RuPaul, who's got very few defensive countermeasures left. Like, can't nade himself to keep himself alive. Left off the map.
You was playing with Derby on a Rocket? Yeah, bro. We had a blast on Amplify.
There was off the map there for quite a considerable amount of time. Terror Surge to bring people back down to earth as Painkiller just boulders through Team Liquid. There's a primal rage to buy some time here. Got 10 seconds of this, but that bowler shot connects with the Winston. And Infected, 1000 HP.
Is this the Nightmare map?
Venture to stall for Team Liquid. A nano boost available from RuPaul. But you're just going to have to nano the Venture to keep yourself alive. They're closing in on OT. Venture, a pretty tough character to take down, but without that burrow, you are just left on an island without a paddle or without a boat. As Nightmare are going to cap that third point with 30 seconds in the time bank.
The fact that they jammed on
my
circuit
shoulders.
is kind of, I don't know, mind-blowing to me, honestly. That's very impressive. Such a hard map to actually get the capture on, and so the fact that you were able to do that with time left in the bank, like, Jack, that's crazy. That first map might have gone the way of Team Liquid, but Nightmare being able to get all 3 points, I think puts them in a great position to win this map and tie up the series.
16 and 3.
Who do you think was the best tank player? Or who do you think the best tank player was in old Overwatch League?
8 and 5. Tree doing
Probably Fearless.
there, but Chronic
I'm doing good. How are you, bro?
And like you said, that's really the most important thing for the Freya, like securing those final hits, the 2 taps with the take aim. Chronic is just
It's hard to say because there's so many different metas. I say the most consistent one throughout all the metas was probably Smurf.
They're just happy to run, especially
Smurf, Super, like any of the Shock players.
Lifeweaver stuff anyway, but Lep on
Void was good as fuck. Actually, no, Void is a good one. Void was good as fuck.
It's extremely scary on this map.
Void was insane at Diva, insane at Sigma.
In their series previous. He ended
Right.
up getting MVP in that series too.
Yeah,
Same as Zarya.
absolutely. I mean, Chronic was such a big problem, and I think it was a very smart indicator for
Behind the hits can't go. Now that is top tier premium bait.
How impactful Chronic
Pine was good for like 2, maybe 3 matches.
Back on the table. That's why we see Chronic and Tree both leaning into this hero. I don't think you usually want to play anything else into the Freya, or at least we've seen that go pretty poorly for other teams versus Nightmare when you've got like Sojourn versus Freya or something like that. So for now, let's keep seeing these Freyas in action. And as we see Team Liquid roll out of spawn, they thought about that Sigma, but as soon as they saw what Nightmare were playing, since they were playing so up close to the doors, they make the pivot response to go ahead and play their Rissa versus.
Okay, Saya player was definitely like a huge inspiration. But back then I was an off tank player, but I really appreciated Saya player's aim.
Liquid with the Kiriko.
I
do really like the Juno.
The goats I watched back then were like Choi Hobin, Space.
Big value with the orbital ray. Versus the rush, it feels a little bit better.
Mainly just Choi Hobin and Space.
With the Lucio, to me, this is where you can make these swings even faster, and so I think that just allows you to get the Freya in pitch position better than the other team.
Good heals from Alep.
We're doing Preds. Preds should be up. Or no.
For a little bit of damage, but no, like,
I think they're over right now.
And it's Vega that falls first, playing.
No, people hate on Moon, but Moon, I swear Moon was still good as fuck.
I'd imagine as ends up just getting focused down by Nightmare, who are playing like a 3-stack around that statue.
But there's just not enough damage now, that especially if it gets infected as far.
How did the SSG game go?
Your turn if your team Liquid's. Yes, with this rush.
Yeah.
You're right. Like the Ray is so much better in this situation.
No, that Fury Gravity actually changed the game for off tanks. That Fury Gravity actually literally changed the game for off tanks. That shit had any Diva in Diamond, the Plat, Masters, GM, had anyone doing that 180 shit.
Well, they've made the call. Oh, that bowler shot from Chronic. Ended up killing Zera, actually. Okay, I didn't expect that. RuPaul ended up blinking away with that swift step. And ended up dying anyway, even after using that rush. A lot of health, though, on the side of Nightmare. They ended up expending both support ults, even that rally, too. They've got Blade, but against the Polar Shot Blade, Terra Surge, you're using this at the very end of the fight to try and clean up kills. Or try and, like, catch people that have expended theirs to overextend for their own.
I think that was a heavy overinvestment.
Nah, that Pokebomb shit was hype as fuck.
Really as much to actually win out the fight. But you've made your bed, you gotta lie in it now. So hopefully this Rocket Blade is good enough.
I like it. Pulling it early, too, is the other option there. Just trying to force an ult out of Team Liquid, and they've done just that.
Oh my god.
In fact, they've expended 2. That's an insane combo. The Terra Surge Bowler Shot from Infected and Tree just nets them 3 kills off of those 2 ults. That is the that's not an overinvestment, Rose. That's a perfect level of ultimate economy there from Team Liquid. They've got a Blade 2. They're going to have a beat. There's a minute to go. Nightmare are teleporting out to spawn with Rocket on the sim to try and get back for a final touch.
Ooh, that touch is gonna look hard though, especially because you got the spear of the Orisa up. That is the first point captured here for Team Liquid, but that's how you get it done. Jack, that's the exact problem that Nightmare just ran into when they used both the support ultimates, the Terror Surge, and the Bullet Shot all in one go. You didn't have that wombo combo that Team Liquid just dished out right back at you. And I think if they had that Nightmare, any sort of semblance of like big ults, I think they would have been able to stop Liquid from actually getting this first point.
Bang!
Better to continue to run.
Nice blade from Zera there, clutching onto the wall to stay in disguise. The anime blades. Lep takes down Lucamino 2. Nice stuff from Zera. Looks kind of clean on the
Not
face, and of
done
course the
yet.
Genji as well. No slouch on it. 2.5 minutes. They just try and kill this Orisa. There it is.
Yeah, it took them a bit. Let's go back and watch this.
Here's the combo.
Like the Terror Surge and the Bullet Shots are with everybody together. Oh, yeah, beautiful stuff there. Just picture perfect. And Team Liquid with another good fight win. They bring themselves one fight away now from being able to grab this second point. And with the rush too, maybe they just pulled the trigger on this early, but
Yeah, they're going to try, but Nightmare have a response, and that being the Ray. You can't fight
It looks like
into
everyone's just taking the shield perk nowadays.
Damage just
Delayed shield take, that's just from Overwatch 1.
Yeah, decent kite though, yeah. They do end up getting away. But now they have to run into this combo again. Do Nightmare and Team Liquid, to be fair. This Terror Surge and Bowler Shot. They're trying to get in a position for it. A Bowler Shot does end up connecting with
Oh my tree.
But Chronic only gets...
Chronic is him off right here.
Shots. The combo didn't end up working out. Maybe Tree's a little bit different, but unfortunately for him, he is already dead, and Infected throws his ult to the win.
Orisa mirror usually a shield perk. It's like it can go any way. It just depends. I think shield perk on this map because it's so narrow. Like, you know, there's like not really any flanks for you to get behind the Orisa. It's just like it's just literally one way you just shoot each other.
Teams is going to be the secondary DPS in the Genji versus the Tracer for Nightmare, and Rocket's almost got a pulse bomb. So I think like Nightmare, you got Rally, you've got Pulse, you got another Bola shot. I feel like Nightmare at least have enough to be able to get them through this next team fight. And then it comes down to the wire with like, can Team Liquid actually...
You like it? Not bad.
Table. You're pretty far away from everything else outside of his Bola shot.
Skybox Freyers. Oh, wow, that was very close. Tree getting that health pack.
That's a pulse here. This is a pulse. Oh, took too long.
My word, okay.
Bleppy thinks it's 15 months.
I was distracted. They did manage to already kill one, and Team Liquid, they are losing backliners at a rapid rate. There's 25 seconds to go. A Nightmare have managed to clean this fight up. And they still got a couple of ults. And this Orbital Ray, this mistiming here from Team Liquid. RuPaul, 58% on ult. Lep, 85. This is a surefire win here for Nightmare if they play it right.
Should be. You've got even another like Terror Surge Bola shot combo if you want it, and you can get this Terror Surge up on time. I think there's no choice except to go back on this Wrecking Ball.
Oh.
And everybody else is starting to get picked apart. The
Team Liquid win.
What?
My goodness.
Going down and Tree
The tree carry.
Lucamino Chronic already dead? How have they managed to make that work? The Terror Surge from Painkiller 1% away is Infected kills Lep initially, and then Tree just comes up with a double out of nowhere. They managed to push in OT, but now with a minute and 28, still time is against them.
Wow, that was disgusting. Yes, the time bank is certainly going to be an issue heading into this third point. You have to finish the map at this point in order to have a chance to win. So things are still looking very good for Nightmare, despite that kind of...
What?
But props to Team Liquid. Tree.
Why did that happen?
Big double kill there. I think
I was so locked in.
Ball really lined up for Tree perfectly. You got that slam down.
You downloading it? Chill.
Tree was able to take advantage of that verticality that the opposition was getting. But now Liquid, Blade, Orbital Ray, that's just gotta be good now. This has gotta be enough.
That is a lot of ults. Double Ray, Blade, Terror Surge. Nightmare, they do end up getting two as Chronic, Tree are just exchanging blow for blows. I mean, RuPaul escaping here for Team Liquid is only good for them. Keeping him alive until the very last couple of moments. It's just so much healing output. Rocket does end up landing the final bullet to kill RuPaul, but I don't think he's going to be able to even touch this time now. He's going to have to back up, go for a regroup, but Liquid now nearing overtime.
That means they have to play around this cart, and all that they're gonna have.
Oh my god, I forgot to read chapter 1152 from One Piece. Fame sings in 7 months.
Really just play up there if you were worried about Chronic being able to grab you. But it comes down to this. Jack very down to the wire. Rocket has a chance to end all things here.
I was gonna read it last night, but I was like so tired. I wanted to wake up and read it because I wanted to fully experience it.
And now RuPaul is his main focus. Chronic deals with the flanking Genji in Zera, and this is where the payload will end. A Terror Surge to try
And that's
but
map.
the clutch could not be found as Nightmare hold Team Liquid and bring the series up to a draw, at least for now.
Ooh, 1-1. Is this finally going to be the series that's able to go the distance today?
Whoa, what do you mean the distance? SSG went the distance. Hold on, what is this SSG diss?
That way, even
What?
L'Oreal felt like it came down to just the final couple of fights, and this is exciting. Jack, we might have a 5-map series on our hands.
No, they did go the distance. They almost went to a map 5. What is that bait?
On who bans what, I think, in these maps. It was a very intelligent ban and pick as well for Nightmare. If you go to the straight back to the top of the series, you pick Circuit Royale, you ban the BAP. So you don't have to deal with the Lifeweaver BAP backline. And then that is now out of the pool. And realistically, this would have been Team Liquid's best map, especially with that comp. They've looked very clean with it. Over the course.
You need to put on the jersey and they will win. Every time I put on the jersey, I think I've actually lost.
They can go to somewhere they're favored, of course. And there's, I think, at least with Painkiller versus Infected, if you're thinking about...
I'm going to hold your hand when I tell you 3-1 isn't the distance. I'm getting up. I'm done. You know what? I'm done. I'm not dealing with this. I'm getting a freaking snack.
Painkiller, on the other hand, much more preferring brawly, rush-type heroes. Malga, Orisa, Ram, etc. Ram was banned here in this map. So they are hoping they go to a map that's a little less dive focused, but we'll have to see where Team Liquid want to go.
There are some really good dive maps in this pool, so I feel like it's going to be a little unavoidable, but that's why we look at that pick ban system being so important. You already called out how that went down for the first couple maps in the series. There's still a possibility of having a Winston ban later on, especially if we go to something like I was gonna say, well, Dorado actually, or Watch Pro Gibraltar, but this is also wrong because we are just Circuit Royale. But you can still play Dive on Hollywood. You can play it on Runasapi. There are multiple different angles on these maps to be able to play the Dive, whether it's like Winston, Ball, or Hazard.
Yeah, I think Hollywood's a really good shout. Very, very good for the Dive. You can play... You see, the thing is, I think Escort's the better game type here for this dive. Gibraltar, Dorado.
Yeah.
Hollywood's like this last refuge now. Runasapi, very, very doable too. But yeah, Rose, you called it. Team Liquid choosing Hollywood.
Oh.
Winston, Wrecking Ball. But you still, as Nightmare, have the opportunity to play the Orisa, to play even the Malga. I don't think we're going to see it, at least not right now. It is a pocket pick at this moment in time. It's not perma anymore, but Painkiller was a very good Malga back in the Malga meta days. So there's a lot of options for Nightmare here too. And for their bans, I don't think it's going towards the tank because Infected, he's got it all.
I think it would be smarter to be able to put the ban towards something like even the Genji. I think Genji with verticality is something that can be easily shut down on a map like Hollywood. So I could see it going there. I could also see it maybe being another support if you wanted it to be. Kind of depends on.
I'm back.
First, but I think in this scenario, DPS support makes sense, unless you really are concerned about something.
My family's lychee tree is like
kind of funny because
really growing. All the fruits are ripe now, so I got some lychee.
100% on that high ground on first, like holding the cafe. You can also on second, if you hold high ground, if you get that like priority position, like you're gonna look good.
Ooh.
Like it's. And banning Lucio is so good too. Okay, so banning Lucio, I really do think this is going to be a BAP Lifeweaver backline here for Team Liquid. I really do. Banning Winston for Nightmare, I said maybe the bans wouldn't be too...
Can you follow this? No. I should...
incoming.
Yeah. That's gonna be all Johnny. I'm gonna give him so many kudos for that if we see that happen.
Okay, not quite the Bat Life Weaver, but Bat Brig for Lucamino and Lep on the defense.
Surely Lenny will qualify. I hope so, man.
Okay. Maybe a bit overzealous there on the Life Weaver call, but still the
You fantasize about competing again sometimes?
super
Sure.
nice TP.
We've got a lot of Life Weaver.
It's not like I don't miss competing.
I think the desk already brought that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we like Life Weaver. We haven't seen it in so long. We want to see more. But I think
this
this.
for like ever. yeah.
Well,
Oh, nice
that break is
TP.
certainly
Wow,
more
these-
stable.
These rotations are insane from Team Liquid. TP High Ground, TP Cafe, completely clear the map. Uh-oh, well, Zero might be in trouble now, but he's actually forced a lamp out of Lucamino.
Is Bat really that good?
Over there with
He's really good in the Freya.
This is a little messy for the defense for Nightmare. Rocket's alive, but for not too much longer, as he's just getting pounded by Tree.
Pause.
So same
Pause.
for Infected 2, who's very low, doesn't manage to get away, and the backline for Nightmare standing tall.
I really thought that Rocket might have won that duel, but I think with Infected being able to get that final spear, if you missed that, then maybe it looks a little bit better for the Genji. But now it's looking really good for Chronic. I mean, once again, Chronic is going to be on the defense with a Bola shot. And I think, like, with this amplification matrix from Lucamino 2, they're sitting pretty.
Oh, I gotta wash my hands.
You just
Like,
can't get
my hands feel gross.
by this teleporter. Like, that's
Straight
crazy, though.
into the spear spin. And Infected even kills Lucamino too. These lamps are in awkward spots. Both teams are kind of trading sides, using each other's lamps, although that doesn't work, sadly. Terra Surge just to finish off this fight. Yeah, don't mind investing that at all if you're Team Liquid. Gen Traverse keeps RuPaul alive, and that'll be the checkpoint, or the cart even, on the move for Team Liquid. Not too bad on the time bank either. Collecting that in about 2 minutes.
Okay, this Symmetra is going to start to become a problem. I mean, you've
Hey, man,
already
Bingo
got
is too
high
much.
ground control. You don't even need to wait for something like the elevator. That's something that Nightmare don't have access to. They just kind of have to do this the good old-fashioned way to get this high ground access.
Is he good in the Freya because of splash healing?
But
He has burst healing. He has good damage on Freya. He has invulnerability
Maybe I don't
and a really good
anymore.
ultimate.
Never mind. I was gonna say the card's kind of far away from them, but you know, if you just get picks, then
Such a treacherous, like, plane to traverse as well if the Orissa's on the high ground. Nice bash onto Rocket too. Wow, he had zero control of his character just then. Got bash, got moved by the Orisa, and then quickly taken care of with that Deadeye. Back to the high ground goes Team Liquid.
The worst ult in the game, in my opinion.
and they go up, and then some things must come down. It's like gravity.
Oh yeah.
Some things don't change. Team Liquid staying on top, but with
Saying that,
the
though.
actually, yeah.
Nice Terra Surge. Fight's already done though by the looks of it. Yeah, Chronic. Didn't need that Terra Surge painkiller. All good. Not a bad old
I don't know.
throw in though to guarantee you the fight at the very least, but it now becomes the problem for Team Liquid, using this teleport to kind of navigate the map. They've got the wall, of course, but they've got to run into Chronic, like window rally. Like there's a lot Nightmare can do to defend.
I really actually don't hate them using the Terra Surge there, because I think it still lined up things a
I
little
really don't know.
easier for Chronic to get those eliminations. And I don't know when else you would have used it. I think being able to strategically roll through the ultimates that you have, it might not have been a better time. And so now, yeah, Team Liquid they do have a lot. But
Maybe Vizor, I guess,
this
but
teleporter is actually
it's
starting to get
alright.
kind of, what's the word? Predictable, I think.
They were struggling to even deploy it. Like,
Yeah.
there was just so much damage. Infected had to spear spin. Bonus shot through the slight gap in the door there onto the backline of Team Liquid, but now they can deploy the wall. Although with Zero going down, this rally being deployed, Nightmare can just fight on one side of it. Tree being pushed out as he stares Painkiller dead in the eyes, and those gold eyes, there's no fear in them. As Team Liquid just fall over. I mean, although Painkiller needs to stay alive, but should be all good. This high ground control on top of the jail for Nightmare, incredibly hard to deal with. And here come the swap.
Is this a Nightmare sweep?
Going away from the sim on the Freya and the Tracer.
I think it was time. I think it was probably time like a couple fights ago, but they had the photon barrier, so you may as well try to throw it in. And now Tree can actually play.
Liquid is boom.
As well.
You always be saying anything that loses one fight is boom.
Just having the elevators naturally there, you're able to get up to that high ground. It's not difficult to assail if you're an Orisa. So now maybe it's like kind of still a little predictable because there's an elevator, but you do have this shield, so it allows you to kind of stay in the face of the opposing team a little longer.
All right, they're going to jump down from the high ground there. That window not to be messed with.
You say
So from across the way by Tree. So difficult. Almost ended up killing Tree solo there. Rocket is actually the first to fall in this engagement, as now they try and take this high ground control. Looks like Nightmare are just going to give it up, although Lep's in an awkward spot. Like,
oh my.
Got lamped in the end, but Chronic trades with RuPaul.
Ooh. I mean, not having your BAP there and the rally expires, leaving Vega vulnerable. But the bull shot from Tree, this might be good.
Oh my goodness.
Let's see if Team Liquid could actually get any momentum out of this. But they still have to deal with these slippery DPS. The Rocket's still alive to be able to get a touch here.
Wait, the elevator's just...
They're not
okay,
working?
just give it up. What the? It just stopped. Okay, there we go.
Oh, no, there. Okay.
Well, it's weird. Like, you have to get off it for, like, an amount of time. That was pretty strange. There, you couldn't get the elevator working. Almost called the... What's that to call the maintenance man there? Terrace throws thrown out. Actually gets...
Oh my god! Chronic killed Zero.
Finding these kills off on the sideline. And now if he can just sit on top of jail with his BAP, like, this is going to be an unbelievable spot to actually get him off. Like, he's going to receive so much support from the rest of his team. It's going to be impossible for him to die. Eventually, they actually deployed the window to force them off of this jailhouse roof. But still, the spawn advantage for Nightmare here cannot be understated.
Rocket!
Bomb as well. It's gonna take effect. It's so low. The immortality field is just gonna keep everybody alive for seconds. Jack, it looks like Nightmare are gonna take it.
No
though.
touch. Yeah.
Nightmare win!
Standing on the points, just an immovable object on that Orisa with every cooldown.
Wait!
Although
Wait, Vega?
Oh my god, Vega, the Kiri Kid!
Clutch up at the last couple of seconds as overtime.
The Kiri Kid!
Was deployed, and there is the point. 1 minute and 30 now left in the bank as Vega comes back on the Kiri. Manages to clutch up for the team.
Yeah, great swap. I mean, just being able to have the swift step to apply that Suzu right in the nick of time allows Team Liquid to keep themselves in this map and with a shot to actually finish out all 3 points. It was very close there for a while, very touch and go, but Tree has the bowler shot. You can follow that up with another pulse bomb. Like, Zera used that in the last fight, and now it's ready to go again.
Taking a very conservative approach now on Nightmare. To infected or into painkiller, sorry.
Oh!
Oh, not quite. Oh, Lep turns the shield though. Uh-oh. That's a mistake. Best left avoided there for Lep.
Oh, no.
That lamp deployed on the point's not going to help anymore. Nightmare. Yeah, they fall over. 30 seconds for Team Liquid. They're going to continue this payload going. There's going to be a big spawn wave here coming through for Nightmare as both DPS are coming up, but it's going to be a...
Bacon chicken needs some warm.
Oh, but the bullet shot into spawn.
The body block on the bash? I see you there.
The Evocation Matrix 2? There might be enough damage here for Team Liquid.
The Amex is there for Lucamino, but Lucamino is the only one using it. A fully charged Terror Surge there for Painkiller on the point. Does dissuade Infected from stepping up and now deploys the shield and has a Terror Surge of his own, dragging both Lep and Painkiller.
Okay, overtime is not bad, but like...
Nice teleport there.
Still, a full cap is not ideal.
Vega dodges every single thing Nightmare were throwing at him. And that is the completion of the payload. Overtime, though. So Nightmare do have a clear win con. However, Team Liquid, what looked like it was going to be a 2nd point hold, managed to stretch it all the way out to that 3rd.
Sometimes these teams, they take an inch and they turn it into a mile, and that's sometimes the difference between winning or losing a map. So Team Liquid also know that
on PG's life, they full hold first point. What?
Another map win in the series. But I mean, Chronic has such good numbers, like over, like what is this?
Literally over 9,000.
Yeah, right.
9,001. I mean, versus Tree.
Died a
Tree's
lot,
kind of
but
beaten him there. 18-5 versus 11-8 for the Freyas. Although Tree was on the sim, of course. They were on a different comp initially.
Yeah, I think the Symmetra was certainly very helpful, but I think they also gave it up at the right time. Knowing that it was just not getting through the defensive hold that Nightmare had, I think Team Liquid did need to...
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm on my phone for 2 seconds.
Go towards it for this very first part. I do think this...
PG spectating the Overwatch tourney like, I'm dead. Phone. Bro's phone got more screen time than the actual game. At this point, he's casting TikTok highlights, not esports.
Over to the Freya for the second point.
Spawn peak.
This is your job. Get off your phone.
Rock on the Genji, Chronic on the Freya. Very heavy healing backline here, actually, for Team Liquid. Look at this. Kiriko and the Bat. That's a lot of heals, and the off-angle potential is... It can't be understated, actually, as Zera and Vega can take a devious little angle. And you can see them doing it just now. So, swift step away. Quickly dealt with...
I don't know how I feel about this Genji skin. I feel like the Genji Mythic was cool till it wasn't.
The Genji is not dying. It's a hard little duo to actually deal with.
This is kind of interesting because Vega is on the Kiriko instead, and at least you do have the Suzu, so you still have like kind of double immortality field. But
Oh my beautiful lamp.
Get in pretty fast with Cassidy, I guess.
That was a very high value lamp there from RuPaul. Unfortunately, though, didn't end up healing.
It's not enough though.
Infected does die, and now Painkiller can just walk onto the point for free.
Alright, look at Vito sliding over the rooftops. RuPaul is still alive, and is waiting for some of the rest of the Team Liquid members to actually come in and touch. But
No. Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, RuPaul does end up deploying the lamp, but
Wait.
it should end up going down, although you'd think at least. He ends up
Wait!
as well. I mean, Vega did die, but they traded for Painkiller. What an awkward
Oh my
fight for
God.
RuPaul. Eventually gets taken down by Chronic. A take-aim shot eventually landing. Someone from Team Liquid
Oh my God.
touch, and Tree ends up coming up quite big with a couple of kills. Zera 2.
They hold this.
Oh my.
With Lucamino, but they managed to hold.
RuPaul is just the
RuPaul
goal.
staying alive for that long cannot happen.
That is insane. That should not have been holdable for Team Liquid. Not once Nightmare actually sniffed out RuPaul, but him waiting on the stairs and just like playing a patient game. You can also see him crouching to make sure he wasn't actually making any noise, but still, like now you've got more time in the bank. You still have this Tear Surge alongside the High Noon.
No, like Tree played really good, but it all started off with RuPaul.
Like Liquid have answers to this.
Well played though in the back, deployed. Well, and there's the High Noon. Yeah, Rocket says absolutely not, and actually gets out and dies to a Terror Surge anyway. Thought maybe he could kill Infected, but it's all good. He did the damage. The moral support was there. That'd be Nightmare taking the point, Rose.
Yeah, it's still such a good effort from Team Liquid. Another fight when they're on the defense just means that they have a lot less time to deal with on the second phase. And now we see Tree switch off the Cassidy and go over to the Freya. Okay, that's Freya is able to access those way easier. You still have this Kiriko to actually play with.
I'm doing pretty good. How you doing, bro?
So, pick if you want to play that low ground. You do have to wait for your...
I swear Vega is just like a flex support player at this point. That can play break.
Just decide to play low here.
And sometimes
I
Lucio.
think you could lay this Kitsune rush down low. Oh, please be careful. Using the Suzu on yourself does not feel good.
What?
These take aim shots though. There you go. All right. Vega's out. Ends up TPing away. They got Rush though. Rush versus the window. It's exactly where Nightmare want to go on. This high ground. Good connection there. I think that was a recall though by Zera. So at least you forced that out. One less kind of problem to deal with. They do end up taking this high ground.
Oh my God.
That's a good connection too. Deploys the lamp, but
Oh, Tree.
right now so low. Vega ends up getting killed with the swift strike there from Rocket, as he does trade with Chronic. Although RuPaul in a dangerous spot with this window. It looked like he maybe wanted to just jump up there and deploy window. In fact, he might just do that. Yeah, Painkiller forced to pop that golden as both back avoiding each other. As
Rocket just got deleted.
High ground to aid RuPaul. A swift kunai there to kill the Genji.
Oh,
Not
lamp bounced.
moving at this current moment in time. Is that lamp not enough to save RuPaul? But a scrappy fight at the very least. As Nightmare, they're still on top. They're still getting this payload going, and they got this high ground. So these scrappy, long, drawn-out fights still going Nightmare's way.
It's about to get harder though, because Team Liquid, they have ultimates to expend to keep up this defense. And we're also starting to watch Nightmare get a little bit split on the attack. So Terra Surge becomes more valuable if Infected can find the back line. The bullet shot as well, if you're able to keep this high ground presence over Jail, also gives you very good sight lines to land that too. Yeah, it's starting to look a little bit better as this fight gets drawn out. The rally gets deployed, as is the immortality field, but those ults are not going to stay around for too much longer.
Yeah, rush off of the high ground there as well. It's good coverage close to the point. So, yeah, Nightmare using that early rally does mean they can't really stay in this fight, at least not on the face of things. Very easy cleanup. Yeah, that...
It's looking like a Liquid win.
Early. You saw Vega playing off onto the side, like, hey, like, come try and get me, try and overextend. Actually just staggering that two here. Ooh.
No.
Damn.
4 HP. That's a nice stagger, actually. Not going to catch a spawn wipe at all. Has to spawn alone.
Yeah, it's really big as well because we're under a minute. So realistically, with how long a lot of this approach has taken for Nightmare, I think this is going to be the last full attempt they get. They still have to deal with a bullet shot. Actually, there's 4 ultimates up now for Team Liquid as we're going to get the Amplification Matrix and Pulse Bomb up too. So, not looking easy for Nightmare now as they really have to try to find...
Oh my, insta-kill on the Vega!
Oh, that's a great start though.
Vega just got speared halfway cross map. And RuPaul is 1 HP. I think RuPaul's just going to die to a Tracer probably. If not a Tracer, probably Chronic.
Wait, they don't even have a Tracer.
Come back pretty quickly though, obviously on the Kiri. RuPaul, how is RuPaul alive? Double tap though from Chronic ends up killing.
Oh my, Chronic!
Vega back in the mix. Don't want to mess with the best though. You're gonna lie like the rest as Chronic gets a double. Terra Surge on the points and RuPaul eventually slain. God, he is just staying alive a lot longer than he maybe should, but with overtime in Session Rose, it's a tough attempt from Nightmare, still having to deal with the spawners of Team Liquid.
Oh, and RuPaul, he's gonna use the spawn.
Don't see 9 now, don't see 9 now.
Moira to come back on the map, and the longer this goes on, the more likely it is that Team Liquid is going to win.
To Blade in the corner. Nope, there's the lamp. Rocket cannot go through those doors or risk dying instantly as Chronic chased away finally. Oh, okay. Well, okay. Well, I don't think... Okay. There was the rally, but I don't think that would have been a fight win. I'm just going to put it out there. Lep did end up just bashing towards the point. And Chronic ended up dying there. I was looking on the high ground. I think the support was reloading. I think the Juno was reloading there.
Okay, now you think Liquid close it out, or do we go to a map 5 banger?
Saving Chronic. But a lead in the series now for Team Liquid Bros is they take Hollywood.
Yeah, I think they were. Yep, that fight was definitely.
I think it was over. I think like
it was over.
Realistically, the break.
I don't know what to eat because there's not really much food downstairs.
But there was another player coming.
Yeah, you're not realistically. I don't want to say it's like a curse or anything, but like realistically, the fight was over. Realistically, it wasn't like a Kellen on like Drug City where Bro just didn't touch point. Bro didn't touch the point that time. But they did.
You know you want to order food? I haven't ordered food in a minute.
Take down. A good win though for Team Liquid Bros. Last time they met, it was a 3-0 to Nightmare, so a very different showing. Elios, New Junk City, and Runasapi were
alright, you know what that means. Let's make 7 eggs.
To Nightmare in that series. And those maps, especially Runasapi, they got like 6 and a bit meters. Like, it wasn't.
Oh, Runasapi was a stomp. Like, there was actually a full cap that came through for Nightmare.
140 plus or whatever it is, yeah.
They still had like
my favorite food,
on the clock too.
rotisserie chicken.
That they had left, so it was like a dominant full cap. But this time around, things are way closer.
Chipotle BOGO right now. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna check out this Chipotle BOGO.
Started to find their groove before. I think their biggest problem was they had too many different things that they liked to play. And now I really think
I'm already activated on the summer rewards for Chipotle.
They found the compositions that are going to work the best. They're not really, you know, what's it called? Experimenting. They're not really experimenting anymore. You know, Infected was playing the Wrecking Ball in Ilios, and instead they've really opted to just really lean into this Orisa gameplay. But like the last time they mirrored too, when we saw the Orisa versus Orisa on New Junk City and Murasaki, it was Nightmare that won. So this is a mirror we're gonna have to see play out more often. Right now, Liquid is going their way.
They look a lot more confident in that fact as well, Rose. Map
Do
number
people
4,
actually be getting
well,
double,
we'll see if Team
like
Liquid can
a
shut
double
the door
scoop
on
of food and stuff like, or I
Nightmare
mean
to the
protein?
mid-season
How do you like
championship. Or can we
how do you
find
justify
out?
another scoop being $5?
Don't go anywhere. We'll see in a sec.
Double chicken. I'm just getting some Chipotle. That's it. That's it.
All right, here we go. New Junk City, chosen by Nightmare, who won 3-0 quite handily against Team Liquid last time they faced.
And a double range review? I'm not paying $1.50 for a double range. Are you kidding me?
Load on into this fourth map. Winner here books their ticket to the mid-season championships road at EWC, and the loser will go down to the lower bracket where they have to fight all the way to that lower finals.
What are we question marking?
It's gonna feel so much better to just be there for EWC and not have to worry about it anymore. Especially because who knows what can happen when Nightmare has been such a wild card this entirety of stage number 2, and still could get the.
They give it for free in person. Well, I was planning on streaming the entire day.
Liquid wins here, it's an upset against Nightmare, but it's so split between the viewers, between us. It's been a very close affair the entirety of the series. For the next map, we are going to New Junk City, and I was kind of musing to myself and talking.
Why is my Face ID not working?
I was like, well, I actually don't know where we could go. We've got 4 potential maps left, but I think New Junk City makes the most sense, Jack, because this is the one where if you were going to play Orisa, I think this is the better one.
Guy spent 101 day on CS cases, but doesn't want to buy $1.50 ranch. I literally could have flipped that 100 into 2K.
But it was a nice effort.
It's going to be the Remarchers by the looks of it. Team Liquid 1 map away from getting that ticket secure. Let's get a quick listen in as they roll out the gates.
Are we? I think we still walk right in the walk left. I don't think we just.
Yeah. Oh yeah. TP out right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course. Go.
All right, closing Preds.
They are afraid.
That's like, we still walking. We still walking.
Corner, ram on me.
Ram big left.
Regular shield. I
Swing.
walk.
Alright, I'm shooting ram.
Can we walk more?
I'm getting on ram.
Yeah, we're just shooting ram.
Shooting.
Very low. Backline. I saw backline.
Quick push.
Right one.
Yeah, 3, 2,
Go left,
walk in. I'm pinching.
Right one.
My backline. Walk.
Listen to this energy from Nightmare or Liquid.
We're killing Bap dead.
Go ram.
Rama.
Nice. Good job.
I kept being everyone pressing their walk up really hard, okay? But don't die. Yeah, they're Bap right there. Help sell us though to walk out. Yeah. Really pressing.
Extremely clean first fight there from Team Liquid Rose. Pushing their walk up as well. Don't want to overextend. Don't want to die too early, especially against Chronic. But Tree against Chronic, this has felt like the series has been what it like since the very get-go. It's Freya versus the Casti on this map, though. I got to take the Casti over the Freya here.
I agree with you. I think it's so much more difficult for the Freya to actually find sightlines. We already saw that where Team Liquid spots the Freya, decides to actually just press the S key.
Oh, Tree might be dead.
Out of the Freya sightlines entirely.
Oh my God, Lumina walked up unknowing.
A similar issue here. I mean, like Infected just gonna go ahead and play this small room. Oh, the Bap, the brig.
Where did he land, bro?
Yeah, not even close so far.
It's over, man. Zero just pulse bombed the rocket. It's over, man.
There's another team kill. Only use
That's
pulse bomb
Flashpoint.
window. You're chilling. Yeah, that might just be No Lucio's here, so
No, the honey chicken is so good.
There's potentially a final touch, but like unlikely. Looks like they're going to try and check this low ground, or at least Zera is. Yeah, okay, they're not even gonna go for
No
it.
way. Yeah, like you could have sent Rocket in there, but I think with where Team Liquid was looking, Rocket just dies. And then all of a sudden you have the snowball where Team Liquid wins the Flashpoint. They're able to team kill the rest of the squad, and then they roll into the next Flashpoint and easily capture it. Now it's a little bit more of a dogfight. You're gonna be going over to the next one with this High Noon, but you still have the bullet shot from Chronic, so at least those DPS ultimates are getting matched. Where things get a little more interesting is that Nightmare actually have both their support ults as well. So I think like Window first, High Noon from Tree actually is going to be the first one to fire.
Was Window from Lucamino on this high ground. Tree going for a small little flank annihilation. Ripping and roaring through the backline of Nightmare.
Lucamino,
Stay
no!
alive. Lucamino and Lep just permanently pressured by Infected. And Annihilation is going to get
Wait,
by
Lep?
Painkiller as well, as Infected's one does end up running dry. But still,
Aww.
look at Lep. Infected just over and over and over again. Just teaming up with Zera and just killing Lep and Lucamino. They've not had any space to work with. The Nightmare are struggling.
This has not looked good for them. After that second map, I think we really thought they had a good handle on the bans, and I think just the Freya from Chronic was such a big difference maker at Circuit Royale. But now it felt like Chronic has been quite quiet. We're even going to see Lep actually switch over to the Lucio. Maybe the speed is going to be what Nightmare needs to actually get it to this point and get this contest a little faster. But right now it's Team Liquid.
I think Cass can counter Freya because, like, especially on closer range maps where Freya doesn't really have the accessibility to like a long range.
Being able to play with Infected.
Cass can like face tank the bolts and do like consistent damage to her, making it hard for her.
There's a window on the point for RuPaul. Yeah, there it is. I mean, yeah, that is the next point. This is a stomp. Like, straight up. Like, this is not close. And Nightmare 3-0'd them last time they played this. Like, what's happening?
I think this is the team finally gelling together. Something that we saw.
It's looking like we're gonna have a Nightmare versus SSG game.
They just added Zera into the roster at the very beginning of the stage, taking him away from that Nightmare.
It should be SSG.
Kind of the impossible.
But then again, don't count out Sakura yet. Don't count out Sakura yet. Or Extinction.
Gone through, but the TLDR is that Zera was really integrating himself into this Team Liquid squad, and you can feel their teamwork.
Turn off on the cameras. I'm going outside today.
Right now, Jack. They're really playing together as a team.
High Noon for Tree. Tanks the pulse bomb underneath that glorious lamp. And that annihilation from Painkiller looking very, very sad. Team Liquid, if they 3-0 this, like, Nightmare, they're going to have to go back to sleep and wake up. Like, this nothing's working, nothing's popping, nothing is happening with the squad right now. This is not the same Nightmare that we've seen over the last few maps. Like, this small little break that we had, this 5 minutes, like,
is lower backer being played today? No, tomorrow.
This does not look like the Nightmare that was able to get such a good record in that regular stage.
Oh my god!
He's under such duress.
That doesn't even matter.
Lucamino gets revenge on Infected, but it doesn't matter. Everybody's already
Fight's
dead.
over.
Fight's over. Job's done. Team Liquid
The map over?
gonna fast track their booking to the mid-season championship, Rose. There's one more attempt here from Nightmare, but it's gonna be a sorry attempt. There is a rally for Team Liquid, and Nightmare have nothing. They're hoping for a nade from Lucamino.
Or a sleep dart. Anything.
Something.
Like if
Anything.
Lucamino could have a hero play here, but like they don't even know the Zera's there.
Did they chase Zero or no?
Could have full clipped that tracer, and if
No,
that was-
Lumino's dead.
That would have been
Lumino's
it, but
The support split up.
That's just it.
the map is over.
Nightmare, they're not even going to be able to cap. This rally overhealth is just too much. A nice little Ravenous Vortex there connecting with 2, but it's all over, Rose. 3-0 for Team Liquid on New Junk City, rolling over Nightmare as they book their ticket to the mid-season championships as Nightmare flop in the final hurdle. They're going to get sent to the lower bracket. But
Okay, does this mean Team Liquid and
coughing baby
does this mean
versus
Team
Liquid
Liquid and GK have made EWC or
Nothing
no?
more could be said. Team Liquid, they got the ticket. They're with their guaranteed top 3 at the very least, as they knock Nightmare down to the lower bracket.
Okay, so it's either Nightmare, SSG, Sakura,
There was nothing that you
or
I think for that Nightmare squad from that last map. I think Team Liquid just absolute dominance. I think taking away the Orisa actually came back to bite them
Damn.
hard. The Ram versus Ram did
Extinction, yeah.